And then we just put this...
He's in here.
What?
Hey, boss, I think we got it.
What have you got? Oh my God, Luke, you smell like shit.
I know, I'm sorry. Mike and I spent the whole weekend here getting everything ready for your videos.
You mean the Nicole Armoured depression thing?
We figured you'd want to do another 3-part series. I found out that it used to be called melancholy, described as a lack of motivation. And I put together a clip show of Paul Joseph Watson first saying that depression was invented by the pharmaceutical industry as a scam to sell everyone pills. Then Paul promoted a pill that claims to cure depression. And then Paul claims that eating too much soy causes depression, even though his Brain Force pill contains soy.
Boys, relax. I don't need all that. I'm just gonna do a reply video.
What? Reply?
You remember, like I used to do?
Are you f***ing kidding me?
No?
Man, I f***ing love you.
Oh, really? I always thought you hated me.
I know we've had our differences over the years, but you're my best friend, Skeptic. Things got pretty gay in here.
So does this mean...
I know, I'm sorry. I realize I've been acting a little jealous. I trust my wife, and I trust you. I'm so sorry that I shut you out of my life. Look, I want you to come over for dinner tonight. Does that sound good? My son, Jerry, would love that.
Okay, I will. Thanks, Luke. I really appreciate that.
Good. Well, I'll just leave you to your reply video then. Good night, boss.
You have to go.
What? I just got here.
I'm sorry. I can't do this to him.
Oh, you son of a bitch. F you.
He doesn't deserve this, Sheila.
You piece of shit. F you.
Just go, please.
Oh, I'm leaving, but you don't ever f***ing call me again. Do you understand me? Get the f*** out of my way. Your animation's getting so much better, by the way.
Only one person can get you out of depression, and that is you. It's all in your head. It's all in our head. Oh no, I'm holding you accountable for your own feelings and for your own life. Holy
I don't normally do videos like this. When Nicole Arbour's infamous Dear Fat People video was the talk of the town, I think my only criticism was that it was terrible normie humor.
They forgot to tell you that plus size stands for plus heart disease, plus knee problems, plus diabetes.
This time is different. Depression is a mental condition. Bad mental health advice could actually lead to some really bad shit. And since I'm such a nice guy, I feel compelled to dispel some of the misinformation in Nicole's video. To see another person say that they don't usually make videos like this, check out Miss Misa's response.
Nicole is not somebody that I would usually make a response video to.
It's some good shit.
Look at our lives. We have amazing technology. Grocery stores full of food and seats that heat up your butt in the winter. Hey. And yet we are the most depressed that humans have ever been in the history of the world. It's all in our head.
Nicole keeps confusing the medical condition of clinical depression with the more existential concept of displeasure with life.
Depression is a chemical imbalance in your head. You can't just fix it, but you can.
Just because you've managed to overcome some of the symptoms of depression doesn't mean that you no longer have depression, but you can build yourself up to a point where you can live with it.
First, our brains are made of chemicals that are always changing balances. Sometimes when you have more of one chemical than another, then you can have depression symptoms.
Brain chemistry is the key to depression, but the brain is really complex. A treatment that may work for one person will not work at all for another, or maybe even have the opposite effect. Everyone's brain processes those chemicals differently. Some people need a lot to feel stimulated, others are extremely sensitive to even the smallest imbalance.
However, our brains are always changing, and we can change our brain. Yeah. Do something fun, get a nice hit of dopamine. I like to think of myself as a dopamine dealer.
Releasing endorphins makes you feel good, but implying that dopamine is a depression fix is terrible advice. Dopamine helps your brain communicate when it likes something, for what it believes is an accomplishment. But your brain is stupid and will give you a dopamine rush for bad reasons. After a burst or two, the dopamine receptors in your brain become less sensitive to its release. So you need to release even more to feel the same effect next time. This is where people can develop a dopamine addiction, constantly chasing the high, becoming more and more self-destructive. Too much dopamine will actually make your depression worse. Your goal should be to regulate your dopamine.
Being depressed isn't the same as being sad. It's a real thing. Oh, I know. It feels like a ton of bricks is your blanket. I know every single argument that people are gonna throw at me about how depression is so hard and you can't just beat it and you can't just get over it. Maybe you enjoy being a victim, or maybe you want to get better.
Yes. We all have to play an active role in our battle with depression. You can't just pop a pill and expect your problems to go away. But your insensitivity towards those struggling with depression isn't really that funny, because this is not a normal thing that normal people have to deal with. It will never stop nagging at you and affecting your life.
Doctors are taught to prescribe antidepressants the same way they're told to prescribe Ritalin to kids with ADD. ADD. We all know what I think about that.
ADD is a real thing. Are you f***ing serious? It's generally considered to be an understimulation of certain areas of the brain, and is treated with stimulants that arouse those areas.
Antidepressants are not lifelong tools. They will never make you happy.
The opposite of depression is not happiness. The opposite of depression is balanced brain chemistry.
When I was on antidepressants, I just felt like a robot who was now functioning versus a robot that was frozen. Being high isn't feeling better. And I think there's something really scary about taking away people's ability to feel, which is what antidepressants do.
Being human means experiencing the entire gambit of emotions. You have to be basic as to believe that a state of permanent happiness is achievable or realistic. Antidepressants are not designed to make you happy. Antidepressants are designed to help you regulate your brain chemistry, allowing you to function without the distraction of emotional instability. Yes, some drugs will make you feel kind of dull, but that's the trade-off you take. You'll no longer be crippled by your emotional pain, but at the same time, you can't feel that manic happiness anymore. Some people who are bipolar prefer not to take the medication and risk feeling hyper sadness rather than take medication and lose their ability to feel hyper happiness. And that's fine. However, not everyone has that luxury.
And scientists have concluded after decades of studies that they have no idea why antidepressants work on some people and not on other people. But the reason is, it's all in our head. It's all in your head.
Or is it because everyone's brain is different and no two depressions are exactly the same? With some people, they feel the opposite effect. Medication can actually make them more depressed. So we know that the drugs are doing something, even if it isn't always what we want it to do.
You idiot, it's genetic. Nope. It was proven at Harvard that only 10% of our long-term happiness has anything to do with external factors, such as genetics, how you were raised, or what's going on at work. And the other 90% of our happiness is accounted to how we process the world.
This study does not refer to people who have defeated clinical depression. Second, genetics are not an external factor. Where are your genes, Nicole? Inside your body? That makes them internal. But that's not even what the study says. Half of your happiness is based on what your mother and your father gave you at birth. 40% is based on choice, leaving 10% for the external factors. Like, how do you f this up so bad?
Isn't that amazing? Happiness can be a choice. Science proves it. Nobody is happy all the time, but it really is up to us if we're happy most of the time. Depression is real, but it's also really beatable. And we need to start advertising that more than the fact that it's a disease. Yeah! Here are my 4 steps on how to defeat depression.
Depression is beatable, but I think Nicole's advice is in need of some criticism.
Step 1, you gotta keep it real. Go inside and figure out, what haven't I processed that's doing this?
This is kind of entry-level shit. Obviously, daily stresses will affect your mood. The difference is, those with depression will be more sensitive, and it will affect their mood even more than a normal person.
You're in a job you hate surrounded by people you don't like. You're with a partner that you know isn't good for you. Your friends are a bunch of dicks. You're depressed because you stopped listening to yourself. Go back to the voice.
But what am I supposed to do if the thing that stresses me out is something that I have no control over, or something that scarred me for life? You can shed yourself of all of your immediate obstacles, but some just sticks to you, Nicole, and therapy and medication are the only way to deal with it.
Step 2. Positive habits. Science confirms that these following things will help you defeat, treat, and get out of depression. Exercise! Go to the gym, go to a dance class, get out walking, just keep it moving. I swear you will feel happier.
I agree that exercise is good for your mental health. Exercise helps you release endorphins. But endorphins are one ingredient to your overall mental state. Endorphins do not replace medication. Endorphins do not regulate your chemical balance.
You have to cut out the bad stuff. Keep it real. When I made the decision to not be depressed anymore, which, by the way, it's a decision.
Being depressed is a decision, just like being gay is a decision.
And step 4, make the decision that you are no longer depressed. The doctor can't fix you. You have to fix you. You are 40% of that treatment. You can fix you. I fixed me. And I took steps every single day, like someone training for a marathon, to get better. And then I did. Stop telling people that you're depressed. No, you're not. You're better every day. Hey, you got this. It's all in your head. It's all in our head. Holy fuck.
Do not listen to this woman. Talk to a doctor and talk to a therapist. Thank you for watching. If you liked what you saw and you'd like to see more Armored Skeptic, please like, comment, and subscribe. If you absolutely love me, you can support me on Patreon, or if you have a passing affection for me, you can buy my merch. Links are in the description.